What would you do if you were me and didn't have? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Houston Texans. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Texans take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
What's that? 19! Line 40, line 40. Cut!
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Well, the first play in the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
48 Mike. I'm coming after you.
Out of the gun, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Thomas, the intended target. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Benardrick McKinney, a first-time Pro Bowler a season ago, in on the tackle there. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. Still churning. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On first down, Watson going deep for Hopkins. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with it. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there. Let him go get it.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Whitney merciless. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. There defensively to knock it away was the safety, Justin Reed. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
It's taken to the 26. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. From the gun, here's Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Marquise Brown there to make the grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Miller. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs.
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Houston. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson, and the Texans have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. A nice run on first down gets him 6 yards to the 31. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 57 yards.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Miles Boykin. His 5th touchdown now on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going...
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense? Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. And all the way down to the 42. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 44 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Check 43. Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Squeeze. Check.
Jackson will throw again. He's going deep for Brown. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd and 2, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be out right at the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
1st down, Texans.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the 1st half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Matt Judon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
2nd down.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Watch that end. Tight ends right. Tight ends right. We got 4. 31.
Here's Watson. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Hey, 4 down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Whitney merciless. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Jackson now. Steps away to his left. And the pressure gets to him again. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
Hey, 4-1's Mike, 4-1's Mike.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going deep for Brown. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10.
You got 3 down, 3 down. Check 4.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 50, it's Watson. He's got Fuller. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. He completes this into the hands of Miller. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On 2nd down now, it's Miller, and he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
To throw is Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because of that,
and he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Watson now to throw. It's complete to Fuller. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
No one attempted or made more field goals in Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use him a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Taken in at the 11.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
The Texans take over 1st and 10.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Miller. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
You got nothing. 31's the right. Hey, pick it up. 31.
Watson to throw on 3rd down. And he finds Stills, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
First down, Texans.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because they'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Watson. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Texans send the punter out, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do? A big seam, and he might go all the way. 20! And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 70 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll run here with Ingram. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Well, that was a quick hitter drive. They have the huge play to get him down near the goal line, and then they run it in. I don't know that the defense ever had a chance to catch their breath.
A lot of the time now, when we see people hit big plays, and each team defines a big play their own way, 10, 15-yard gains. In this case, it was a huge gain. They often want to hurry up and go right away. Keep the momentum going, hit them again, and I think we just saw that there. The second play resulted in pay dirt.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Let's go, team.
Back to throw, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Watson now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
The 20. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
He's going deep for Brown. This is caught at the 20. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd and 9, Watson, and that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here, nearly a 4th pick, and it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Has several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off off at the 33. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Switch out, switch out.
Got a man. It's Brown. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. Tucker's kick is good, and that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Watson on 1st down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 1st down gains. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Hey. 48 month. And let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
Now it's Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he stopped immediately there. Up to make the stop, the Texans' leading tackler a year ago, Zach Cunningham.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. The defense did their job. 4th quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it because the offense has been yelling at them from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
I know I'm supposed to do the analysis here, but I've got to ask, how did he stay alive that long in the pocket?
Yeah, great footwork, which we know he has. If he would have been able to stay alive, get rid of the ball, or run for some yardage, he would have had a very unhappy defensive coordinator, I believe.
No doubt about that.
After the sack on first down, Watson with a catch made by Hopkins. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now he'll escape to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Underneath for Miller. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Now Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Tyus Bowser coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. Here's Watson operating from the gun. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Matt Judon make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Texans first down.
Hey, what's up? 19.
On first down, it's Miller. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on first and goal.
Switch.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Here's Miller. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, first and goal. And they will take a knee and set up what would be a potential game-winning field goal try.
Brings up second and goal at the 3-yard line.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to almost certainly win the football game. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And the Texans are going to win the football game. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Houston, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.